But this is what a submarine looks like, supposedly. And so I couldn't get live fast enough. Of course, the boat is going to be there and it's going to be filmed the entire time. But he just got done saying most research vessels can't go past 200 feet deep. And that's what they're in. That's what submarines look like, huh?
The curasub is often used for scientific research.
Curasub.
Finding out what kinds of organisms grow at different depths. Why is curasub such a good place to station this submersible and do this kind of research?
Well, Curacao has almost perfect weather throughout the entire year. You can basically make dives every day without worrying about what the weather condition is like.
And now, of course, you don't know where the fuck they are.
The least explored areas in the ocean is what's known as the twilight zone. That area between 300 and 1,000 feet beneath the surface.
300 and 1,000? That's a lot.
At this depth, there's less light and a lot less life. So we're going to turn the lights off and see what it looks like out there without any artificial illumination.
That would be dangerous, don't you think? So where's that light coming from?
425 feet.
Yeah, right.
A lot of people don't know would ever go scuba diving.
Yeah, right. 428 feet deep, and the light's still coming through?
Light does penetrate this deep, but just barely.
Mm-hmm. Just like enough to make it look like a set. And again, look at this vessel. You should see the outside of the vessel. But what she had him do was sign this styrofoam cup that I guess they were going to put on the outside.
Tops of mountains, hiking glaciers, jungles. This is the first time we've been 500 feet beneath the surface of the ocean.
Now they're 500 feet beneath.
Okay, oxygen 20.4. We're on our way back.
Oh, now they're going back up. They just along this little area. Now they're going back up.
Begin to ascend. The landscape changes.
It doesn't look like they're going up very high, does it?
At each depth, you really get an appreciation of how important.
They're just as deep as they were before. 100% a movie set. Looks like it.
75 feet, and that's already a dramatic difference between this depth and just.
Apparently, this Curacao sub is something that regular people can just go on if you have enough money, and you get to lay in this little tiny little area. This is the sub. That's what a submarine looks like, right? That was awesome. Didn't see it.
Barbara saved the cup that was attached to the outside of the submersible. A difference.
Gives you a sense of why it's really hard for people to go down that deep, because this kind of pressure puts a lot of pressure on our body. Another amazing day, another awesome.
That's exactly my point. So they say the styrofoam cup was shrank down to a quarter of its size because of the pressure that's down there super, super deep. Don't you think that should have looked... I don't know, shouldn't have been so obviously not real. Nothing. We don't actually do any of that stuff. So I wasn't planning on talking about submarines at all this morning, but Awesome Planet and Jacques Cousteau the 17th happened to be doing this. I just thought, wow, what a weird thing. And then of course, so there's this one thing they say, so he signs the cup and she says like, so here you go. So it's proof that you went down there. That was the purpose of Sign Morning. Matt, happy Thanksgiving. So, there's just weird way to word it, like that there was proof. Like, Was anybody denying the existence of submarines back in 2015 or 14 or whatever, whenever this show was filmed? What a weird thing to say. This will be proof that you went down there. Well, don't they have like video and all that shit? Amazing how they didn't show much of the ascent or descent, did they? They were just like, you know, look, we're this deep now, and look, the light is. Let me see something. Let's see what it says. How deep does light penetrate into the ocean? Light penetrates the ocean to varying degrees, with clearest water allowing light to reach about 1,000 meters. Wow, that's pretty significant. It's way more than I thought. 3,280 feet deep. That seems crazy. I'm thankful for everybody that comes to the feed, especially the trolls. I'm thankful for Israel constantly giving me something to talk about. The friars constantly giving me something to talk about. I actually initially titled this video, Joe Rogan Sucks, because I wanted to talk about how shitty Joe Rogan is. But then I remembered it was Thanksgiving and thought, should be interesting. I wonder what the narrative says about Thanksgiving. I wonder if I look up Thanksgiving for myself, what's it going to say? So let's see. I mean, I have a real issue with the whole. I think birds are what makes us sick. Eating birds makes us sick, but what do I know? So let's look up Wiki. Now let's just look up Thanksgiving and let's see what the narrative tells us. Let's see how my thing always is to read what they tell us and ask, does this make sense? Let's see if the Thanksgiving narrative we're told makes sense. It's a national holiday celebrated on various dates in October and November in United States, Canada, St. Lucia, Liberia, and unofficially in countries like Germany. Why would Thanksgiving be celebrated anywhere else? Like, Thanksgiving is supposedly the commemoration of the unity between the Native Americans and the settlers, the colonizers, the Israelis of their day. Does that make sense? Like, why the fuck would... I guess Canada and St. Lucia because they're so close, I guess. But Liberia and Germany? Why the fuck would Germany celebrate Thanksgiving? It is also observed in the Australian territory of Norfolk Island. Why? It began as a day of giving thanks for the blessings of the harvest and of the preceding year. Various similarly named harvest festival holidays occur throughout the world during autumn. Although Thanksgiving has historical roots in religious and cultural traditions, it has long been celebrated as a secular holiday as well. Wait. In Plymouth. I'm from Massachusetts. Yeah, well, I don't buy any of that pilgrim bullshit. You live in. So, the narrative is that the pilgrims landed in in the harbor in mid-November, I believe. Mid-November, but stayed on the ship for like 3 weeks. So the first actual what's it called? The research party, whatever you want to call it, the first people to actually go and try to check it out didn't happen until December 20th, I believe. So you are in Massachusetts, right? Boston. What's Boston, Massachusetts like in December? Just go ahead, give us a quick rundown. Ooh, weather satellites. We're talking about hurricanes. Bullshit. Such nonsense. So how come we can only get these kind of dumbass CGI renderings? Where are all the photographs? And of course, the CGI rendering has stars in it. I think that's supposed to be an actual photograph. Back in 2016, I didn't think we'd be able to tell the difference. Look at that. That's all real, right? Up, Dahlia Kirschbaum. Go figure. It's a Kirschbaum. Cold as shit, right? But not just cold as shit. Dahlia Kirschbaum. Not just cold, but you guys get a shit ton of snow. You actually get the nor'easter snow, which is feet deep in most cases. There are 12 satellites currently circling our planet. Yeah. Look at, why do they make? Did you see that footage of Antarctica all the way across the bottom? That's weird. Oh, the structure of the storm. The hurricane. Insane shit, man. Just insane. Kirschbaum.
It is, absolutely. In Africa and other parts of the world, you're actually able to see where we might be having rainfall shortages that could lead to potential crop failures or even famine.
Yeah, with your magical satellites. Look at how stupid that looks. Oh, yeah? Look at this. Look at this. Do you really think that's a thing with the foil on it and shit? Like, seriously, do you really think, like once you start to question it, everything falls apart. Everything.
32 degrees Fahrenheit or below, it freezes into solid ice. And as humans, we have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with ice. For example, if you're driving late at night and you see ice on the road,
History.
it's scary. However,
Prayers of thanks and special Thanksgiving ceremonies are common among most religions at harvest and at other times of the year. The Thanksgiving holiday's history in North America is rooted in English traditions dating from the Protestant Reformation. Gotta love that.
even the St. Lawrence River has been known to freeze.
It also has aspects of a harvest festival, even though the harvest in New England occurs well before the late November date on which the modern Thanksgiving holiday is celebrated. So that doesn't make any sense then, does it? How stupid do you have to be to want to stay in a fucking ice hotel? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, no, I gotta be dressed up in full garb the whole time. I mean, I can see my breath in the house. Yeah.
That has the dome shape mainly, and we blow snow on the molds.
Oh, they make snow. You aware of the snow making technology?
Then, 300-pound blocks of ice are added. It takes over a month to build this hotel, using 30,000 tons of snow and 500 tons of ice. Once the structure is in place, carvers transform the hotel into a work of art. The results are
Breathtaking. I knew he was gonna say that. You have to be a fucking jagoff. Quartz vodka. Up there's the chapel. I'm gonna go to a hotel. I'm gonna pay to stay in a place where that's how I have to be the whole time, in full on winter everything. Oh my god, the future. Do. That's the future.
And get to the dinosaur zone.
The dinosaur zone.
For kids.
It's fun for kids. Because, you know, as adults, you shouldn't still believe in that shit. Might as well go to a city apartment that can't pay for their heating bill. I mean, even worse, right? When you get those crazy freak fucking rainstorms where it freezes rain and it just covers everything in that layer of ice, a lot of times we lose power because, you know, power lines get either frozen and fall, or tree branches freeze and then break and fall. Because the ice is so heavy, it breaks the tree branch, right? You don't think about that shit. But that's why the tree branches break, because that layer of ice adds so much extra weight that it can't hold itself up and it falls. And so we've had it to where we haven't had power in the wintertime. And it's brutal. It's fucking brutal. We have to have, you know, we plug into a generator if our neighbor lets us use his generator, if he's home. He lets us usually plug in we get one of his plugs, so then we can, you know, rock the TV and plug in the Amish fireplace thing we have. It's not an Amish fireplace, but whatever.
Is made entirely of frozen water. Some folks call it a modern igloo.
Anyway, let's go back. In the English tradition, days of Thanksgiving and special Thanksgiving religious services became important during the English Reformation in the reign of Henry VIII. Before 1536, there were 95 church holidays, plus every Sunday, when people were required to attend church and forego work. Though the 1536 reforms in the Church of England reduced the number of holidays in the liturgical calendar to 27, the Puritan party in the Anglican Church wished to eliminate all church holidays apart from the weekly Lord's Day, including the evangelical feast of Christmas and Easter. The holidays were to be replaced by specially called days of fasting and days of thanksgiving in response to events that the Puritans viewed as acts of special providence. Unexpected disasters or threats of judgment from on high called for days of fasting. Unexpected disasters or threats of judgment from on high called for days of fasting. The fuck do you mean? What disasters call on a day of fast? Who's like, man, that hurricane was bad, we should fast? You watch our football today, right? Bread and circus all day. Oh shit. He sounds bad. Special blessings viewed as coming from God, called the days of Thanksgiving, which were observed through Christian church services and other gatherings. For example, days of Thanksgiving were called following the victory over the Spanish Armada in 1588 and following the deliverance of Queen Anne in 1605. It's funny because, like, we say this, right? You hear me saying this and you're like, yeah, see, there's your evidence right there, blah, blah. What the fuck does that mean? Does any of it make sense to you? 95 days and Sunday, that's almost half a year. That's true. That's a lot. What, 150 days, basically? It's fucking weird. Special blessings, viewed as coming from God, called for days of Thanksgiving, which were observed through Christian church services and other. For example, days of Thanksgiving. Oh, I already read this. An unusual annual day of Thanksgiving began in 1606, following the failure of the gunpowder plot in 1605, and developed into Guy Fawkes Day on November 5th. That's a weird way to put it. Days of fasting were called on account of plagues in 1604 and 1622, drought in 1611, and floods in 1613. Man, we're so delicate. Everything has to be right in this window. Too hot, we can't do it. Too cold, we can't do it. Too wet, we can't do it. Too dry, we can't do it. But these are days of fasting. These are like religious days of fasting. Both D and F are capitalized in that. So these are considered like official sort of church bullshit holidays or whatever. Like that wouldn't be like days of fasting. That would be like, you know, shit was fucked up. We had to do what we had to do. Thanksgiving prayers were were dictated by the charter of English settlers upon their safe landing in America in 1619 at Berkeley Hundred in Virginia. Who were the English settlers from Berkeley Hundred in 1619? YouTube emailed me a warning about your channel. Ooh, what did it say? What kind of warning did you get? Warning. This guy might read stuff. Might be kind of boring if you like learning. I'd love to see that letter. Okay, so we just switched to in Canada now. According to some historians, the first celebration of Thanksgiving in North America occurred during the 1578 voyage of Martin Frobisher from England in search of the Northwest Passage, the mythical Northwest Passage that doesn't actually exist, right? Other researchers, however, they put in a lot of effort to keep me censored. Unless 6 viewers and 5 likes makes, sense to you. That's normal, right? That's normally how YouTube feeds work. But if that's, if you're interested, if you hate me, if whatever it is, there's an excuse for you to share this. If I'm wrong about everything, then share it so we can get people that can tell me what I'm wrong about. I love when people argue with me about what Wikipedia is saying. Like, I'm reading you the official narrative. I'm the one that deviates. So what are you even arguing? Other researchers, however, state that there is no compelling narrative of the origins of the Canadian Thanksgiving. So you have some historians who believe this and some historians who don't. What does that tell you about history? I mean, think about that. There's not enough evidence to definitively debunk it, but there's not enough evidence to definitively prove it. It's kind of strange. And test. What's that word?
Where?
Second paragraph first.
Antecedents? I don't know. I've never seen that word.
Antecedents? Antecedents? ANTECEDENTS means an antecedent is something that precedes or comes before another thing. Is that where the term ante-up comes from? I bet that's where the term ante-up comes from. Before you play your hand in poker, you put the ante in, ANTE. In grammar, the word or phrase, a pronoun refers to. John arrived late because traffic held him up. In this sentence, John is the antecedent of the pronoun him as a predecessor. That's fucking weird, man. I would have never. But I do think that's where we get the term ante-up. Because I'm stupid like that. Antecedents for Thanksgiving in Canada are also sometimes traced to the French settlers who came to New France in the 17th century, who celebrated their successful harvest. New France was a territory colonized by France in North America, beginning with the exploration of the Gulf of St. Lawrence by Jacques Cartier in 1534, and ending with the cession of New France to Great Britain, secession of New France to Great Britain and Spain in 1763 under the Treaty of Paris. Holy shit. That probably explains why we live in Detroit. Look at, did you know that much of the world, of the country and Canada was considered New France? All of that is New France. They had their own flag. They had their own coat of arms. I always think these things are so much more fascinating than people tend to give credit. I mean, at first, you're going to see this and think, okay, that's a cool little coat of arms. But it's not until you understand that, like, every single detail on this was picked for a reason. It was, they chose, that many white bulbs on the top. They chose that many blue sapphires or whatever, rubies, and they chose everything. The little squiggly designs around there, they're that way for a reason. They signify something. This has shells on it, seashells on it, right? And then look at all the different little coat of arms symbols all the way around it. Each one of those things means something. And then obviously there's this crest at the bottom that means something. You don't just throw this together because, you've got this fly-by-night little thing going on. This shit lasted from 1534 to 1763. That's over 200 fucking years. New France existed for 200 plus years, and I've never heard of it. Nouvelle France. The capital was Quebec. The official language was French. The religion was Catholicism. Exploration of Canada begins with Jacques Cartier, July 24th, 1534. Until then, no. I mean, it's just stupid. Just stupid. Especially when there is evidence in Michigan in the Great Lakes in the tip of Michigan. There were ruins found that had that they dated back to, I think it was 1183. They were Viking bullshit. They had Viking ruins that dated all the way back to 1183, I believe. Trump's new policy update on the. I don't. Trump is just a piece of shit actor. Does what he's told to do, pushes what he's told to push, and like, do you guys remember how everybody was flipping out about the SNAP benefits? Right? You guys remember that? How many videos did you see of mine talking about it? Do you remember? Do you remember me talking about, oh my God, they're going to shut the SNAP benefits off. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my. Do you remember me saying anything like that? No. My wife said it. My wife was very, very upset. And again, it's not a knock, because she's a good person. She was concerned about all those people out there that, are going to have their lives really, really fucked up. And the whole time, I didn't talk about it. She'd bring it up, and I'd be like, okay, Because I knew they wouldn't let it happen. Yes, some people did get fucked over in this. But for the most part, they last minute pushed something through to make sure things worked out. What was the new thing that you were just pointing out to me, and I said the same thing you were pointing out?
The insurance.
Oh yeah, the insurance, how the insurance is supposed to drastically change, and everybody's going to get cut off by the end of the year, and all this other shit. Does that even make sense? Does
Well,
that
they're not
even...
going to be cut off. It's just their rates are going to go way up. That credit isn't. People aren't getting that credit anymore.
Right, and because of that, they're going to get cut off because they're not going to be able to pay for their shit. But how would that even make sense? And to think that, like, you know, like, free healthcare is absolutely a thing all over the world. And those hospitals don't shut down. Like, you know what? I would much rather get free healthcare and have to wait a little bit longer than get the healthcare we do get and have to pay for it. Because it's pretty awful. You know, every time we end up going to the hospital for one reason or another, I'm always, you know, checking, looking for how dirty it is. And it's always filthy. It's filthy. You'll see blood stains on shit. One night we went to a place.
Oh,
Was it either me? Who was hurt? Me or you?
me.
She was hurt.
You were furious.
And we're in the room, and first
That
of all,
was at
they're
Southfield, Providence.
right. They're fucking around. Everything's taking too long. All this shit. But I start looking around, and I'm finding. Was it in the bed? Did I find blood stain in the bed?
Yeah, on the metal
Right.
railing.
There was blood on the railing, on the bar thing. You know, the thing that slides up to keep you in the bed. There was blood on. There was blood all over the place. It was so filthy, and I just fucking lost it.
They made us. We slid out of the room into the hallway, so why somebody came in and cleaned it again when they slid us back in the room.
Yeah, it was insane, how disgusting it was. And you know, it's one of these really weird things where, like, my wife always tries to reinforce this with me because I have a block that was programmed into me regarding this, but they work for you. You're not there for them. And when they give you attitude or they, you know, treat you less than they should, you need to say something. A lot of times, all it comes down to is reminding them, like, hey, you know, you're like supposed to be helping people and shit, right? Maybe you've gotten a little lackadaisical. Maybe you haven't gotten enough thank yous in your life. But you remember why you're here to begin with? Like, you care about people, so fucking care about people. Anyway, this would just take me in a completely different direction. I'm gonna have to look into New France one of these days here, but not today because, again, that'd take way too long. I wanted to look up the Kowloon City too, the walled city in China that was gotten rid of. That just sort of existed, and like when you look at it, you just think, like, how the fuck did they build that? How was that ever built?
Ew.
Gotta love the 5 likes, 3 viewers.
This is one of these ladies that puts on makeup and turns into
Somebody else.
completely. Oh, stop.
Ew, she still looks gross. Yeah, I wouldn't fall for that. Because she looks fake. Like, she looks like she has 8 pounds of makeup on.
That.
No, that's true. Never heard of New France before. Yeah, me neither. The French settlers in the area typically had feasts at the end of the harvest season. They continued throughout the winter season, even sharing food with indigenous peoples in the area. As far as Thanksgiving goes, I'd never heard anything other than it was because the Pilgrims and the Indians got together and had the Thanksgiving feast. Is that... What else had you ever heard about Thanksgiving? Did you know Thanksgiving is celebrated in Germany and Liberia and shit? Why would it be?
Well, the Indian people ask me about our holidays all the time. They asked me today.
I mean, this is interesting. I mean, as settlers arrived in Nova Scotia from New England after 1700, Late autumn celebration, Thanksgiving celebrations became commonplace. I just have such a hard time with these narratives. Right now, outside our house, it's probably 30 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe less, like 25. And it is so blisteringly cold that it's not like, ooh, this is cold. It's like, ouch, this is cold. It's shocking. It hurts to breathe it. And that's that's having to go outside for a second. And I realize there's that shock to the system going from one to the other. But you start thinking about 1700s Nova Scotia, 1700s Upper Peninsula. The Upper Peninsula in Michigan gets like 30 feet of snow over the winter. There will be multiple times throughout the winter where there will be 3 feet of snow falling. 2-3 feet of snow. Who is doing this? How are they navigating this? How are they settling these areas? Like, I always think about the people that settled Michigan had to get here on like the most, the earliest spring year that's ever existed, and got here in like March. And it just happened to be one of those years where after March it didn't get too bad. Because I just can't imagine how they would ever settle this area. And you have to, you have to remove everything, and it's just woods everywhere. I mean, think about it. Again, to go back to the Pilgrims, let's actually, I'm going to break here and I'm going to go to the Pilgrims for a minute. Because I just don't think people realize how fucking stupid that story is. No, I didn't want to look up pilgrimage, you douchebag fucking thing. Pilgrims. The Pilgrims, also known as the Pilgrim Fathers. Never ever in my life heard them called the Pilgrim Fathers till I looked it up. Did you ever hear them called the Pilgrim Fathers before? Were the English settlers who traveled to North America on the ship Mayflower and established the Plymouth colony at what is now Plymouth, Massachusetts, United States. John Smith had named this territory New Plymouth, super creative, in 1620, sharing the name of the Pilgrims' final departure port of Pilgrim, Devon, England. Why? So it doesn't even have any significance to them. It's just it's the port in which they left. So they don't name it like New Usland or New, John Smith, because his name is John Smith. Of course, his name is John Smith. If I tell you a story now about somebody named John Smith doing something, do you assume I'm telling you the truth?
No.
And yet John Smith is he's the guy that named New Plymouth after the Plymouth, Devon, England, the place they left. That's not even where they were. They were settled in New Amsterdam back then. But just to think, like, you brave the fucking everything it takes to cross the ocean in the fucking fall and winter time. Because remember, the boat lands in November. They were blown off course a bit, so their 1 month journey took 2 months, which of course they were fine with. But they just think about what that means. Think about, you do all of that to land in your own place. This is your own place. You are for all you know, there's nobody else here, at least according to the narrative, right? And you could name it anything you want. You're not going to name it John Smith Land.
No.
You're not going to name it, Smith Land or something. My Greek wife would absolutely name it after her Greek shit.
Holy fuck.
Constantinople. Get him.
Fuck fucking whole car. Moves the whole motherfucking car.
Yeah, you know
gotta
what I
wait,
see when I see
it's
that?
just a second long.
You know what I'm like, man, should shoot that thing and put its head on my wall.
Yeah.
That big, beautiful, magnificent animal, we should shoot it and then put its head on my wall. You know why? Because I'm a fucking man, okay? Don't you question my manhood. I shoot things and put their heads on my wall. Yeah, because I'm a man. I shoot them. The bigger, the more beautiful it is, the more I feel like a man. Well, because what I do is I hide in a blind, and then I put some shit down that smells like the best pussy they've ever had. So they come running over like, hey, where's this amazing pussy? And then I shoot them from inside a tree because I'm a man with a gun. I shoot him with a gun. But hey, I'm good because I shoot him in a spot that doesn't fuck up the head so I can put it on the wall. And yeah, sometimes they go run around and slowly bleed to death, and then I gotta find them and, all that stuff. But hey, I'm a man. You guys, right? I'm a man. Aren't you guys a man? You like to kill stuff because you're a man? Doesn't killing shit make you feel more like a man? I kill things. I have all of the advantages in the world other than the physical advantages, and I kill things. Like the day you kill a fucking deer with a knife, the day you're like, what's his name on Alone?
Yeah.
He killed a fucking muskox. No, yeah. He killed this big fucking thing with a knife. Like, as impressive as it is, it was for a TV show. They drop these people in these remote areas where people don't go. And then the people are there and fuck up the whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
They're people pissing shit and all that stuff.
They're
And
killing the prey of the predators that need to eat.
Right. It's very limited up there. So when you take out one thing, you're affecting a lot of things. But it's a great TV show. I like TV shows. Back to you, man. I don't speak that shit. Don't you notice there's English not only in the comments, but coming out of my mouth? Do you understand the words that is coming out of my mouth? Imagine how confusing that is for like Asians and for just for foreigners that come here.
Trying to learn English?
Not just trying to learn English, but then talking to black people and being like, wait, mouth? Is there an F there now? On the screet, what's a screet? I'm in these screets, dog. The Pilgrims' leadership came from religious congregations of Brownists or separatists who had fled religious persecution in England for the tolerance of 17th century Holland in the Netherlands. New Amsterdam. I mean, just think about the narrative, right? So, 1600s, somehow the king knows, like, just, first of all, when you do the math, the amount of people that supposedly existed in the world was much less. But to think like, I always think it's funny to think like the king exists in his somehow made castle, right? And then there's all these different people who live within many, many miles of this kingdom, just little homesteads out in the middle of nowhere. How the fuck does any sort of, how do you keep track of that? How do you monitor that? How do you force people to worship what you want them to worship? Like, I mean, it's the narrative we're given about the past. Excuse me. It's just so ridiculous. Look up Braveheart. Braveheart's silly as shit, but Look at the little thatch roof mud hut thing they lived in. Imagine those are dotted all over the countryside. How does the king keep track? How does the king keep track of that shit? But apparently, the embarkation of the Pilgrims, an 1857 portrait by Robert Walter Weah, now housed at a Brooklyn museum. Because that's what it was looking like. They were always dressed Shakespearean. They always look like they're in some sort of play. I mean, I know people will be like, that's just how people... Look at how much effort and care it would take to dress like that. How many layers they have on. How impractical are those outfits for everyday life? They're so impractical, they don't even remotely exist today. Look it up. What do we look? Oh, I'm so sad. Everybody's looking up. Oh, we're looking up. Oh, we got stuff going on back here. Hey, what's going on? What are you looking at? Oh, I'm down on one knee. I got my shoes on and my tights and my pantaloons with the little bows on them, and I got this dress thing on. And I got my armor on for some reason, and then of course the backgrounds are always fantastic. Who built all that? These look like pretty magnificent buildings in the background. Who was building back then like that?
Oh my god, it's fantastic.
Cool, I'm glad you're happy. I mean, look at this shit. Oh, this is on the boat. These are people on the boat. Oh, look, there's a rainbow. No, they couldn't be on the boat because they're on the boat. They must be sailing out of the harbor, I guess. Oh, yeah, it's the embarkation, so it's them leaving. Oh, that must be the wife all sad. Okay, I'll see you soon. Okay, sweetheart. I just think we're being lied to so much, man. Seriously. Seriously. The separatists had held many of the same Calvinist religion beliefs as Puritans, but unlike Puritans, who wanted a purified established church, Pilgrims believed that their congregation should be separate from the Church of England, which led them to being labeled separatists. I mean, just think about this. Think about how many times you hear about all these different groups and shit. How did all of the groups get assimilated? How did all of the groups become the one group? I mean, you have your Christianity and you have your different denominations, but that doesn't, it's not the same.
My friend put her
Calvinists and Brownists and shit.
my friend put her pies on the fucking deck ledge.
And birds got them.
A possum, two pumpkin pies and a raspberry pie.
Overnight?
No. She said I fell asleep for 20 minutes. I could totally throw up right now. She's so pissed. She's hosting Thanksgiving. You know
Is she
her,
sure that
Brandy Willison.
is she sure that the possum didn't just pretend to eat the pies? Should ask her.
Oh, she's so upset.
After several years of living in exile in Holland, they lived in exile in Holland. I mean, just think about this. This large group of people is living in exile in Holland. What does that even mean? What does it mean to be in exile in 1600s? No, you say that. You couldn't handle it. People always talk about that shit. I always love when I see the meme that shows like the house in the middle of the woods. And it says, this is all I ever need. And it's like, I'm looking at that on Facebook. Like, motherfucker, you wouldn't have Facebook. You wouldn't have your phone. You would not be okay without your phone. I do not think that's possible. I think you would have severe withdrawals. And I'm not saying you're some anomaly. Everybody, I know I would.
I would get very used to it very quick. I grew up without a flip phone.
I don't think you would. There's, it's one thing to grow up without something that you don't know exists. But to now not have the information that you have at your fingertips, like that would be the hardest thing to get over. To want to know how to do something and not be able to look it up. To want to know the history of something and not be able to look it up. I think that's extremely valuable. If I were to have to survive right now, like if I had to somehow be in a survival situation, I would need to YouTube how to do a lot of shit. After living in exile, they determined to establish a new settlement in the New World and arranged with investors to fund them. So this group that is in exile, they're the bad guys, just decides, hey, you know what? Let's do this really easy journey that is traveling to the New World. We'll do it during the fall, going into winter time, because that makes the most sense, right? And we'll just go there, and then some investors were like, well, fuck yeah, I'll benefit from this in what ways? What ways would you think I'm going to invest in some people that are more than likely going to die? I mean, really. If they survive the perilous the journey, then there's the savage natives there that might kill them. What are the chances of you getting your investment back? Other than you being told you'll get a spot, what could they possibly promise you? They have no idea what's there, right? I mean, I guess it's been 100 years since Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Other than impersonating a federal officer, which by the way is not just a cause,
In 1620, they established the Plymouth Colony, in which they erected congregational churches, because that's what you do. First fucking thing when you're trying to survive is erect your churches. The Puritans later establishment of Massachusetts Bay Colony eventually became more powerful in the area, but the Pilgrim story nevertheless became a central theme in the history and culture of the United States. Memorial to the departure of congregation members from Holland in 1608 at Immingham in the southern bank of the Humber estuary. They made an obelisk to honor them. Not a full obelisk. Kind of looks like if you look at that top stone looks like it was, I don't know, added later. What do you think? Does that look like
Yes.
like it's been manipulated slightly? Around. I love when they start with that. Around. Possibly. It might be around 1605. Congregations in Nottinghamshire, England, led by John Robinson, Richard Clifton, and John Smythe. Now it's Smyth. 2 Johns and a Dick. The dogs aren't outside, are they? Are you sure? Nissus! Broly's not out there? Okay, thank you. These held Brownist beliefs. You're not playing, are you? What's up? What about? Okay. Well, you're what? That sounds like fun. All right. These held Brownist beliefs. Who Brownists? The Brownists were a Christian group in the 16th century England, 1500s. They were a group of English dissenters or early separatists from the Church of England. They were named after Robert Brown, who was born at Tollenthorpe Hall in Rutland, England, in the 1550s. The terms Brownists or separatists were used to describe them by outsiders. They were known as saints among themselves. So they were all saints, all of them? That sort of takes away from the saint moniker, doesn't it? A majority of the separatists aboard the Mayflower in 1620 were Brownists, and the Pilgrims were known into the 20th century as the Brownist immigration. So how did they become the Pilgrims? They were called the Brownist immigration prior to the 20th century, the 1900s. Isn't that so confusing? The Brownists were eventually absorbed into the Mennonite church, while others joined the Baptist church. Why? How? That's strange. There had been early advocates of a congregational form of organization from the Church of England in the time of Henry VIII. It became clear that the English government had other plans on the re-establishment of the Anglican Church after the Catholic Mary's reign. After the Catholic Mary the First of England, February 18th, 1516 to November 17th, 1558. Wow, that's a significant reign. That's 40 years. Also known as Mary Tudor, was Queen of England and Ireland from July 1553 and Queen of Spain as the wife of King Philip from January 1556 until her death in 1558, 2 years later.
Didn't Queen Elizabeth have the longest reign, though?
Yeah. Why is the 18th to 19th? Because the zeros, because of the the original, the 1 through 99. That's the first century. Technically. She made vigorous attempts to reverse the English Reformation, which had begun during the reign of her father, King Henry VIII. Look at this beautiful, handsome woman. Wow.
Not going anywhere now. Well, at least not the Anthony's. I don't know if we're changing.
Wow, is that a handsome woman?
Let me see what it is.
Jesus Christ. You guys can't see the details. That is a dude. You tell me that's a woman.
She's English and
Look at
Irish.
the hairline.
Very possible.
That's a dude. Why do you think they dress? Do you know how much effort it would take to put that outfit on?
The royals back in the day, it was all very ancestral.
For sure.
So the English royals were fucking ugly.
Her attempt to restore to the church the property confiscated in the previous 2 reigns was largely thwarted by Parliament, but during her 5-year reign, more than 280 religious dissenters were burned at the stake in what became known as the Marian persecutions, leading later commentators to label her... What do you think her name is? Mary the First. What do you think they called her? Come on. There you go. There you go. Mary was the only surviving child of Henry VIII by his first wife, Catherine of Aragon. What's Aragon? She was declared illegitimate and barred from the line of secession following the annulment of her parents' marriage in 1533, but was restored via the Third Secession Act of 1543. Her younger half-brother, Edward VI, succeeded their father in 1547 at the age of 9. Can you imagine that? We have to keep this in mind when we talk about this bullshit. That we just accept the idea that the people of a land were like, well, fuck. He's the next one in line. Oh, well, he's 9 years old. He's our new king. Who the fuck is going to do that? I have a hard time when some 20-something-year-old at the restaurant acts like he knows more than I do. You know? My king is going to be a 9-year-old man? Are you a 9-year-old boy? You know how stupid 9-year-old boys are? Oh, okay. I thought it was. I guess it makes sense, right? I never understood that either. It makes sense, though. It does, but it's just confusing. But it's not even confusing because, you just make that change in your head and you automatically just, okay, 1800s, 19th century, 1500s, 16th century. Yes, 16th century. Oh, When Edward became terminally ill in 1553, he attempted to remove Mary from the line of succession because he supposed, correctly, that she would reverse the Protestant reforms that had taken place during his reign. So, he's 15. He's 15 and he's like, I have a brilliant mind for all of this. Oh, but he was raised in it. Shut the fuck up. You get so worked up over lots of things you have no control. Yeah, I am so worked up over this. I love when people, again, we understand that you're too stupid to actually come up with something interesting or some sort of contribution or whatever, but you're also some arrogant prick who thinks he needs to say something. But don't you understand that when you say stupid things, it really does make you look stupid? Because 0 or 1 through 99 is the first century. Once you get to 100, that becomes the second century. Dude, it's not that hard. Really, it's not that hard. You stay till the job's done. Yeah, tick wump. And see, the thing about these stories is if they make them like this, it becomes fascinating. It becomes oh, this is like a soap opera. Oh, and the 9-year-old is now the king, and by 15 he suspects this, so he tries to do that, and he's terminally ill. Protestant reforms that had taken place during his reign. Upon his death, leading politicians proclaimed their Protestant cousin, Lady Jane Grey, as queen instead. Mary speedily assembled a force at East Anglia, and deposed Jane. Again, think about this. What's crazy is, when you think about what London and England and all that shit looked like at the time, surprisingly, it looked, similar, because a lot of those buildings that still exist today were built back then somehow. But just think about okay, so what's the communication like? How are they communicating? Obviously the pigeons play a big part in this, right? But to think so this Mary Broad is what? What is she? She renting a concert hall? And then, sending out invitations to all of the members via what? All of them RSVP, of course, so they know exactly how to plan this. Here, you know what? Grab the new toilet paper roll, please. Thank you. They know how to plan it. Like, think about like this whole narrative. What? All right, hang on. I just really hate the idea, especially with how expensive toilet paper is, of paying for something to blow my nose into and throw away. I really don't like that. No. Toilet paper is fucking expensive nowadays. Not only do you pay, like I get, okay, you know what? Wiping my ass with it, I don't want to deal with ass wipe. I don't want to deal with what comes from it. Like, boogers are gross, but they're not like shit gross. Like, I don't, you know.
I'm pretty sure at least.
Like, I could never do the hang on here. We could never do the cloth diapers because who the fuck is gonna wash them? That is, poop is gross. You just didn't pay attention. That's one of those things that definitely gets talked about by teachers and whatnot. And a lot of times maybe they just, you know, they just assume you know. I don't know. Who cares? We're past it. She was declared illegitimate and barred from the line of succession. Oh. Mary was excluding the disrupted reigns of Jane and the Empress Matilda, the first queen regent of Regnant. How do you say that? Regnant. What is this word? Regnant. Regnant. Never heard that. First Queen Regnant of England. In July 1544, she married Philip of Spain, becoming Queen Consort of Habsburg, Spain. On this occasion, in 1556, after Mary's death in 1558, her re-establishment of Catholicism in England was reversed by her younger sister and successor, Elizabeth I. Just think about the fact that they changed their names. Why the fuck would they do that? Why is it when you get appointed to the thing, you have to change your fucking name? Give me that, please. She's always got to get... Oh, well, let me just make it a little bit smaller. The future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. The future's so bleak, I took off my shades. What's the rest of the lines? I can't remember the next line. But you can find it at www.the-bilderberg-group.com, where you can get the free download, free listen to, all of that. All we ask is that you share it with someone. When you click download, it'll ask you how much you want to pay to download. You can put $0 and it's free, or you can, give. Thanksgiving, all this entertainment I provide you, you could give and say thank you for at least making me feel like I'm not alone. Will you? I doubt it. But it'd be nice if you did. And really, all I ask is that you share it. Like, share, sub. If you're already subbed, then like. If you've already liked and subbed, then don't forget to share. Because sharing is the only way we get around the censorship that is clearly evident on my feed, unlike you see anywhere else. Now, back to the learning. In an auto-targeting welding helmet, it might help. Yeah, that's a good idea. We should probably stop listening to your comments, though, huh? Her birth and family. Mary was born on February 18th, 1516, in the Palace of Placentia. The Palace of Placentia. I think it's just placenta, actually. That's how you spell placenta, right?
Yeah.
The Palace of Placenta. That's fucking gross. This is the Palace of Placenta. You know, because buildings like that were just commonplace. That's the Palace of Placenta after it was rebuilt around 1500 by Henry V or VII. So the Palace of Placenta, also known as Greenwich Palace, was an English royal residence that was initially built by Prince Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester, in 1443. Over the centuries, it took several different forms until it was turned into a hospital in the 1690s. The palace was a place designed for pleasure, entertainment, and an escape from the city. It was located in Greenwich on the south bank of the River Thames, downstream from London. I love these fucking narratives that they just were like, we need another huge place to live in, so just go build it. How did they build that? What was the construction like? What was this? What was that like? There won't be anything. Architecture, let's see, the history. Humphrey was regent during the minority of Henry VI, his nephew. Okay, wait. Oh, let's see. I missed a paragraph. On a hill behind the palace, the Duke built Duke Humphrey's Tower, later known as Greenwich Castle. The castle was subsequently demolished to make way for the Royal Observatory of Greenwich. Greenwich. I don't know how you say it. Which survives. The original riverside residence was extensively rebuilt around 1500 by King Henry VIII. He built it? So is that what he did with his free time? He just hammer and nail, or did he have some construction company that did it? We don't get to know. A detached residence, the Queen's House. No, build her own house. That's cool. Was built on the estate in the early 1600s and also survives. In 1660, the old main palace was demolished by Charles II to make way for a proposed new palace, which was only partly constructed in the East Wing. Nearly 40 years later, at the behest of Queen Mary II, the Greenwich Hospital, now called the Old Royal Naval College, remodeled this wing, expanded, and rebuilt on the site, of course. Humphrey was regent during the minority of Henry VI, his nephew, and started building the palace in 1433 under the name Bella Court. In 1447, Humphrey fell out of favor with Henry VI and was arrested for high treason. Seriously, this doesn't sound like a soap opera to you. Oh, we're about to... Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. He died in prison, likely due to a stroke, though it was popularly believed that he was murdered, as is depicted in William Shakespeare's play about Henry VI. Of course, bring it all together. Margaret of Anjou took over Bellecourt, renaming it the Palace of Placenta. Placenta is IA or just A? It's just A.
Just A.
Yeah, so this is Placentia. So, sometimes written as the Palace of Plaisance. There you go, tell me that one. Ding, 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 right here. Plaisance, which means pleasure. The Palace of Pleasure. Knowing what you know about these fucking royals and rich people and Epsteins, to call their palace the Palace of Pleasure, can you imagine what the fuck they were doing? See, I say that, but I just can't. Because okay, so how do they get there? They ride on their horses with their carriages from across the fucking. Oh, they stayed in Germany for a couple of months and then they came over here and they did this and. I mean, even the just the food. How do you get the food to this place every day? How do you get the upkeep? You have to also feed all of the service people that work there, all the gardeners, all the servants, all the butlers and shit. Like, this is such a tremendous undertaking. And the River Thames was nasty. You know, apparently that's just where everybody dumped their shit forever.
Hello.
Edward the Fourth gave land and property adjacent to the palace for the foundation of a friary by the Observant Friars, a branch of the Franciscans, and in 1485, the community was formally established in a newly constructed church, and Clostier, following papal approval. Church and Clostier, I don't know what a Clostier is. Clostier? That'd be a Clostier, I would assume. The Friary Church served as a chapel royal at Greenwich and was used for royal baptisms and marriages, including marriage of Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon, and the christenings of the future queens Mary I and Elizabeth I. However, the friars were persecuted during the English Reformation and finally expelled by Elizabeth I in 1559. Dun, dun, dun. In the next centuries, the name Greenwich Palace was commonly used. Henry VII rebuilt the palace between 1498 and 1504. 6 years, that's all.
I've also got to go check with Steph if she works at Fresh Time.
I mean, at least they're saying that. At least they're fucking saying, like...
I'm not gonna. I'm on it. I also found it.
I'm on it. If you're going to Steph's, you better go now, because she just got home and she... Oh, no,
That's Caleb, probably.
Yeah, that's James's.
So, anyhow.
I saw her leave a little bit ago.
Alright, I love you. Bye. In her new car?
Yeah, I believe.
So she's not. She's probably at Chelsea's.
I'm on it. I'm on it. Oh shit. Why isn't my tea boiling yet? Shit, I thought that had been a long time. I guess not. I'm on it. I'm on it. C3. Repeat. With no pre-existing infrastructure, it's fully decked out after like 60 years. Not even 60 years, dude. They're saying it was built, destroyed, built, destroyed, built, like rebuilt. It was rebuilt in 6 years. I guess I think a lot of people have no idea what construction's like. And granted, I've been on many construction projects where they do incredible things in a short period of time. But that's with, all of the modern day conveniences, and everything is extremely well coordinated, and the trucks come in, and there's a lot to it. I mean, building these incredible structures is one thing. The actual building of it, just as importantly, or maybe even more so, is the logistical narrative, the how narrative. Just the idea of leveling out the ground so that you have a flat surface. And of course, all of these palaces and all of these churches and all of these structures that they built, they all just happen to have It looks like they're gonna be gone all day. Jimmy's leaving now too.
They're eating here. Stuff in the back.
Oh. What was I saying? Shit. God, I was saying. Yep, I'm crazy. I am crazy. How dare I ask questions you don't ask and can't answer? As always. How dare I think we should kill pedos when you clearly don't? How dare I oppose genocide when you seemingly like it so much? Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. The logistics of it all is it's the part that really to me blows out. Logistics always destroys narratives to me. Because logistically shit just doesn't make sense. How? Just simple, and there's nothing wrong with asking that question. Everyone should be asking these questions. How? How the fuck did this happen? What do you mean? What do you mean? We don't know how we did that shit. What are you talking about? How come it looks like, we're supposed to be the advanced ones when clearly we're not? If we can't do something they could do, how are we more advanced than them? I mean, it just seems pretty fucking, pretty self-explanatory. If I tell you I'm better than you at basketball, and then I can't even make a shot, you're not going to be like, okay, yeah, I assume you're better than me then. Like, everybody's going to be like, I could at least make one shot. Come on now. I'm sitting here acting like I'm the next Michael Jordan, and you're watching me dink, brick, airball.
Hello.
Do you not see like how stupid that is? It's not.
Put you on a mission.
It's not wrong. It's not crazy to question these narratives because these narratives don't make sense.
A dog, and a lady ended up helping me, and it's in her garage right now. So I'm manning the 2 Redford sites, trying to find an owner.
Of course.
God
damn it.
And I'm trying to find somewhere, like, somebody's house that can take it in the event we can't find the owner today. Who knows, they could be out of, I have no idea. So, and we just got the text from
alright. In the next centuries, the name Greenwich Palace was commonly used. Henry VIII rebuilt between 1856 years, between 1498 and 1504. The master mason was Robert Virtue. His name is Robert Virtue. Virtue. You could probably call Popeyes and get one of their turkey dinners if that's what you.
No.
I know, but that's that. I know you want the thing that takes days to happen, but since we can't get the thing that takes days to happen, you could do the Popeyes one, and it's supposedly really good. It's got really good reviews.
We don't want a frozen turkey.
They do the whole
I know,
thing.
he doesn't want that. Gary doesn't want that. We have to figure something out for tomorrow. So he doesn't want turkey. He did that today for him and Alex. He went and got some turkey dinner somewhere.
It's not some turkey dinner. They do a full turkey like Thanksgiving spread.
Okay.
Get mad at me because I'm trying to make your gig easier. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He said Popeyes does a big Thanksgiving spread. I don't know if they'll do it the day after, but that's, I guess, an option. But if there's somewhere, we don't need anything huge.
I mean, I'm sure if you're willing to pay $800, Joe's Produce will do something for you.
They have, okay, so the only people eating turkey would be, well, pretty much everybody but Nathan, I guess. I'll have a couple bites. I don't have, Right. So we don't need anything big. Even if it's just like the big half turkey that they sell.
I'm gonna make my own gravy.
So, yeah, if you could just get on a hunt for that, that would be phenomenal. You have much better computer skills than I do, and I'm kind of consumed with stuff.
What a stupid thing to be consumed with. It's Thanksgiving and you're worried about some dog. Was an English architect and master mason. He worked as a mason on the nave Westminster Abbey between 1475 and 1490, and then the master mason for Henry VIII's Riverside North Range of Greenwich Palace, built in 1500 to 1504. So now it's 4 years. And a work at the Tower of London. A work. Along with his brother William, he was involved in the construction of Bath Abbey, the Tower of London, 1501 to 1502, and possibly Henry VII's chapel at Westminster. That's it. You want to know about the guy that built the things? Well, that's it. That's what you get. The church, oh my God. The Church of St. Peter and St. Paul, commonly known as Bath Abbey. You guys ready for Bath Abbey? You're not ready for Bath Abbey. There's Bath Abbey. He built that one. You guys taking all that in?
What?
Nobody's talking to you.
That would be great. Thank you.
I mean, I don't know why this picture's here, but look at it. Just look at that. This is carved into stone. This ladder all the way up. Just carve that shit into stone. Why don't you? Oh, yeah. Fucking beautiful there. Right? This is easily built in the 1500s. Why would it not be? Here's an old picture of it. One of those old engraving pictures. With, again, I mean, if you look in the background, there's more going on than just the church. There's some big-ass buildings in the background there.
Guy said he wants to make gravy.
All right, history. Oh, the early history. In 675, not 676, not 674, but in 675 AD, Osric, king of the Hwice, Hwicce, granted the Abbess Bertha or Bertana 100 hides near Bath for the establishment of a covenant. This religious house became a monastery under the patronage of the Bishop of Worcester. He actually made that sauce. Right? He moved to I'm gonna stop. It's just I'm losing it. The W sauce, because I can't say Worcestershire or Worcestershire.
Keep an eye out for stuff there.
Don't tell me what to do. Bitch ass nigga. King Offa of Mercia successfully wrested, W-R-E-S-T-E-D, wrested. I've never heard that word before.
Rested?
Yes.
Yes.
W-R-E-S-T-E-D?
Oh, W-R.
Yes.
Oh.
Rested. Where the fuck was that? Rested, quote, that most famous monastery at Bath from the bishop in 781. He wrested it from them. What does wrested mean? I wonder if it has like a specific.
Confiscated, probably.
Rested is the past tense verb, or past tense of the verb rest, which means to forcefully pull, seize, or take something with great difficulty, either physically or metaphorically. So it means basically wrestled, but let's use a different word. Fucking A. William of Malmesbury tells that Offa rebuilt the monastic church, which may have occupied the site of an earlier pagan temple. Are you shocked? I'm shocked.
Oh.
Are you shocked?
Yeah, totally.
I'm shocked. I'm totally shocked. To such a standard that King Adwig was moved to describe it as being marvelously built. And that was quoted from 781 or so. That quote that he said that the bath or that the monastery was marvelously built, in quote, has lasted 1,500 years? No, well, no, 1,200 years. That's more believable. 1,500 would have been a lot. 1,200, that makes sense. In 944, Fulquin reformed the Abbey of Saint Bertrand in France along Benedictine lines, and monks who opposed the reform fled to England. Does that sentence make any sense to you? In 944, Fulquin, it's a person, reformed the Abbey of Saint Bertrand in France along Benedictine lines, and monks who opposed the reform fled to England. Okay, I get it now. So Fulquin reformed the abbey to follow the Benedictine rules. Couldn't have said rules, had to put lines. King Edmund I gave them the Church of Bath, which was then in royal hands. Why? You would think you wouldn't just be giving away valuable property. But that's why I'm fucking poor, right? Because I'm stupid like that. Little is known about the architecture of this first building on the site. Of course, why would it be? We are going to know about the fire story that takes it out so that this new building had to be put there, right? Monasticism in England had declined by that time, but Adwig's brother Edgar, who was crowned King of the English at the Abbey in 973, began its revival on his ascension to the throne in 959. Why are we going backwards? He encouraged monks to adopt the rule of Saint Benedict, which was introduced at the bath under Abbot Saint Alphonse, who also repaired the church. Oh, he did? Did he have his hammer like Wreck-It Ralph guy? Like, what's his name? Oh, I can't believe I can't remember this name right now.
Huh?
Wreck-It Ralph, the guy with the hammer. Felix. Sometime, we have all these other details, but sometime in the 10th century, meaning the whole 900s, as a result of the monastic reforms of Oswald and Dunstan, the monastic community of the site was reestablished as a Benedictine monastery, which it remained until the dissolution of the monasteries in the 16th century. Norman conquest to the dissolution. Again, you have this depiction of angels. Looks like they're climbing down, actually. Why anything with wings would be using a ladder is beyond me. But this was carved in stone on the side of this fucking building. Who the fuck did that? With what? That's Jacob's ladder. That famous Jacob's ladder. is a ladder or staircase leading to heaven that was featured in a dream the biblical patriarch Jacob had during a flight from his brother Esau in the book of Genesis. Picture of Jacob's ladder in the original Lutheran Bibles of 1534, 1535. That's the original pictures of it. He just had literally a ladder that was hanging on clouds. Check it out. You need a smile. Jacob's ladder. Jokes that for a laugh. A ladder up into the clouds. The significance of the dream has been debated, but most interpretations agree that it identified Jacob with the obligations and inheritance of the people chosen by God as understood in the Abrahamic religions. Oh, so this is some Jewish stuff. So basically, it's another one of these stories where somebody had a dream. And because somebody had a dream, the world was changed forever. Who the fuck was this person that they were like, I had a dream. I had a dream that I had a ladder connected to the clouds. And we could just climb up to that shit, go to heaven and shit. How tall do you think that ladder has to be? It's a pretty short ladder in the depiction. But I mean, again, I'm making jokes, but understand that this shit's carved on a wall, on the side of a church, a fantastic, church. This is one of these narratives that like if you're a biblical person, you then just accept this. This affects things. This is part of your narrative. And when you start to understand that your narrative is based on stupid shit, like this one dude had a dream one time, and it's pretty stupid. I mean, I had a dream that I had a ladder that we could climb and go up to heaven. Like, to think that nobody had thought of that prior to that? Nobody had ever said, what if we had a bigger ladder that we could go all the way up into heaven with? Nobody had said that before? But Jacob was like, I had this dream last night. Because, one of the hundreds of dreams you have each night, he remembered it. And this was so significant. It's scripture now. The depiction of Jacob's ladder appears in Genesis 28:19. And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went towards Haran. And he lighted upon the palace and tarried there all night because the sun was set. And he took one of the stones of the palace and put it under his head and lay down in the palace to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood beside him and said, I am Lord, the God of Abraham, thy father, and the God of Isaac. Have you noticed how God never introduces himself the same way? Almost like it's different people saying, like, that just dawned on me. The reason why God always introduces himself differently to every single person is because they're all making up their own bullshit. Why wouldn't God have some sort of consistency about it? Yeah, I had this view, this thing from God. God, he is him, I say, he, I am him, he and me, he am him. That guy? No, I'm talking about the God of the God of Abraham, thy father, and the God of Isaac. Oh, okay. Because I was there was the God of the mighty, the Almighty, the here, there, now, and after, and all there ever is and there ever will be. He is thy, thee, thy, them. I know a guy who talked to that God. That was a different thing. Like, you realize how stupid that is and how right in your face it is? They didn't even bother to think about that. Because that really would cause so much confusion. In a way that you would, that all around, like, you're trying to unify your people, right? If you're trying to unify, if you're God and you desperately need people to worship you, why would you make it as confusing as you possibly could? I mean, according to the biblical shit, they're dumb enough to fight over shit like, well, my God said that he is I am, and well, your God is the I am he is, and that can't be. We got to fight about that shit. The land whereon thou liest, to thee I will give it, and to thy seed. It's amazing how that always happens too. In all of these situations, God is giving some friar the land and everything. So again, imagine some guy, some goofy little friar, is like, oi, I had a dream last night, and God told me that everywhere I can see belongs to me. And it rhymes, so it's true. God said it, so you can still live in your house, but you have to pay me, and I can come in and take whatever I want, because it's all mine now. Like, can you imagine this working? Can you imagine anyone in their right fucking mind believing somebody to the point where, like, this is Genesis 28:10-19. I mean, I'm literally, I've put in so much work into trying to believe your biblical shit. I've looked up so many different things that every time I look something up, I run the chance of looking like a total fucking doofus. Because the narrative is clear cut, precise, and undeniable. And every single time, many times, I've looked it up, and it's never happened to where I was like, oh, wow, well, I don't even know how to answer that. That actually makes a lot of sense. And it's never happened. And yet, it's so often, this is the same story. Somebody has a dream. Somebody has a vision. Somebody goes out away from any witnesses. Nobody ever witnesses it. But they somehow build their God phone, their altar, and God decides to talk to them and tells them that all the land is theirs. That's all yours, Billy. Just imagine that. Imagine somebody, you're sitting in the break room, and suddenly someone runs in and says something like, oh, I had this dream where God's work for me. This is my company. I own and I own the entire town we live in. So everybody kiss my ass now. This is Harvey Finkelstein land now. How many people would be like, oh shit, well fuck, he had a dream. God works in mysterious ways, exactly. And you decide to believe this. Anybody that says it, you just give it to, okay, well, he said it. So, Jesus Christ. Although it's highly suspect, I'm going to believe. I wouldn't believe anybody else that said such ridiculous nonsense. But man, that Jacob, he is a good guy. He would never lie. I totally understand why he would lie, but he's not lying. If he were to lie using God's name, God would smite him, right? Especially if we're talking about Yahweh days, man. Yahweh was a douche. Why anybody would want to worship Yahweh is beyond me. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all families of the earth be blessed. And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee whithersoever thou goest, and will bring thee back into this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. And Jacob awaked out of his sleep, not woke up. He awaked out of his sleep and said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew not. You know, because there was the little angels, the little cherubs with their naked butts flying around writing all this shit down, right? Right? That's how that works. Because you know, did he write it down? Did he write down, oh shit, this is super important. Let me write down what I'm saying right now. And he was afraid and said, how full of awe is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. And Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put under his head and set it up for a pillar and poured oil upon the top of it. And he called the name of the place Bethel, but the name of the city was Luz at first. I mean, you guys understand, like, you say, what a fairy tale. This dictates world policy. This dictates genocide.
Some 10 minutes.
It's YPT. So that was the biblical narrative. Now let's look up what Judaism says. The classic Torah commentaries offer several interpretations of Jacob's ladder. In Pirkei, the Rabbi Eliezer 35:6-10, the ladder signified the 4 exiles the Jewish people would suffer before the coming of the Messiah. First, the angel representing the Neo-Babylon Empire climbed, quote, up 70 rungs and then fell down, a reference to the 70-year Babylonian exile. I love this idea that they're always speaking in, like, why are the angels and shit speaking in these riddles? Why don't they just tell us what's up? Hey, you know you're on this ball spinning around, big giant fucking rock, sun, super hot, can't get there. Don't try. You're in a big fucking universe. Just one little tiny speck in a huge universe. Why didn't they say that shit? Then, the angel representing the exile of the Archaemenid Empire went up several steps and fell, as did the angel representing the exile of Greece, the Hellenistic period, Ptolemaic period, and the Seleucid Empire. So this is more of that evidence that the biblical narrative is one that happened a long, long fucking time ago. And everything that was said to happen or supposed to happen or all that is long since happened. You guys okay?
Oh, they need a mediator. Will you bring some paper towel up with you?
There's toilet paper right there. Okay, wait. Let's just stop. You are. Nick, yelling. Nick, stop yelling.
Sorry.
Stop.
He gets
Stop
mad.
yelling. Stop. Let
He
him
gets
talk.
mad because I'm using the same combo over and over.
Okay,
and over again.
okay. Do you need to talk like that?
No, Dad.
So you're being a jerk by doing that, right?
Yes.
So wait. So if you're being a jerk, just in that little brief period, what makes you think you're not being a jerk the rest of the time?
Because I'm not using the same
Yes,
combo
you
over and over.
Okay,
and over
wait.
again.
That didn't answer. That didn't answer my question.
I'm not being a dick.
So you're saying suddenly, just when I walk in and it's time to talk to me about it, you suddenly start being a dick?
No, I'm just
No.
getting frustrated because I'm doing the same combo over and over again.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
I'm
Stop.
not. Can I finish what I'm saying though? He thinks I'm doing it. He gets mad and exits the game for no reason.
So did I need you to tell me that part?
No, Dad.
Okay. Stop. So, first of all, you are doing that a lot, but you need to get over it.
You're using Mr. Compressor.
Okay, stop talking. I'm not. Stop. We don't need your interference. Dude, you're getting upset about something that the game allows you to do.
I'm just trying to have fun, and Nick's
I get it.
Nick's just being annoying by doing one
And
combo.
what it does is make you better.
But that's just a dumb excuse so we can do it over and over again.
Yep. Because he's not as good as you.
Okay.
I mean, it's the truth, man. If you were as good as him, you would try to do a bunch of cool stuff. You would try to learn. He does do that. He dissects the game.
No, you're not.
I'm
Nick,
using
with
Stain.
Bakugo.
Okay.
You were clicking
Right.
Y, X, X, X,
Okay,
X, X,
stop
X.
talking,
He's using
please.
that guy who can compress everything and
Right.
send it back at you. Who's very
Right.
cheap.
That's what he's using that guy because you keep doing the same thing, and he's trying to overcome what you do,
Yes.
which is very cheap. But
No, Dad. He also, the character I'm using, unlike Stain, takes skill because you
great.
the only thing
All
that
of that doesn't matter.
The only thing that you can compress are projectiles.
Okay. Great. That doesn't matter though, does it?
No, Dad. It's just
It's annoying for sure. But as soon as you figure it out, then he's screwed, right?
Yeah, but it's still annoying.
Yeah, but if you figure it out, then he can't do it anymore. Because if you figure it out and start punishing him for it, he won't keep doing it.
I did it with the Deku guy, and then he got mad because he called me spam when I was.
Okay, well, I mean, you can't get mad at anything he does.
I kept on blocking her
Stop! No matter what, you can't get mad. If he spams, if he does whatever it takes to win, not worried about just having fun and just, playing each other, has to win every single time, no matter what, like you do, you can't get mad at him for it, right?
No.
I usually pick characters that.
So you're not going to then, right?
I actually don't.
Okay, so stop.
I'm just gonna play story mode and unlock the characters.
I mean, I think you guys should probably take turns playing story mode.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that.
Okay, well, if that's what you're gonna do, that's
I
fine.
don't
But
wanna play with him anymore.
if you, okay, but you do realize that you're the only cause of the problem, right? There is no.
Yeah, like.
Okay, so that right there. I'm not some dumb kid. Don't talk to me like that. Okay?
Okay.
Each student dorm holds one class. Girls are on the right.
I can't just walk. Why did you just turn? That didn't do anything.
Can you hear it?
No.
Okay, it did what I needed it to do. This literally happens every day.
Okay.
Don't do this either.
This is why it's a lot more fun playing with Dad.
Sure,
Okay, cool.
whatever. Sure.
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
but stop. Why are you talking? You create this narrative where you because you act like you're so cool and you don't care if anybody plays and all that, but you do want people to play.
Not really.
Okay, that's what you want then. You don't want to play anymore. No, just you by yourself, being miserable because you have to be a jerk about things. Like seriously, are you in the right here?
Is that the camera?
Are you in the right?
No, not really.
Like, are you being the good person? Are you being the good brother? Are you being the good person to play games with?
No.
You literally are doing the cheapest thing you can do.
I'm not spamming one move. I'm doing a combo.
Okay,
of all my moves. And you
okay.
get
So you're
upset about it.
spamming a combo of things
I have 3 buttons.
that it's the same thing over and over again. You're not trying to do anything differently. You're just trying to win. It's not like you're trying to have fun.
I am trying to have fun and win. And you know what he does? Spams the thing where he summons a boulder.
Nick, when you have to play somebody that plays the way you do, you put him in a position to do that.
Okay. Well,
okay, but why do you want to be that?
I don't know.
You feel good now? Like everything feels, I know you're tough, you're cool, you don't care. Like this is how you want things to be. You want it to be that you and your brother, that it's a constant, like this negative feeling. That's the way you want it to be?
Not really.
So why do you constantly create it? Well, don't you think that's a bit of an issue?
Kinda.
Kinda, or no, it is an issue. Is it kind of an issue that you're causing a bunch of problems, or is it it's not a big deal, whatever?
It is, I guess.
Do you think that way, or are you just saying that?
I don't know.
Right back. I gotta run to.
Do you think it's a
I think
big deal?
Somewhat deserves it, yes.
For what? What does anyone do to deserve the constant shit stream that comes out of your mouth?
How he acts when you're not here. All the time. Don't.
Who's the big brother?
Me.
Who's the one that dictates the narrative?
Me.
Who's the one that has problems playing with other people as well?
I don't.
You do.
With who?
With me. I deal with the same crap as you do, but I can shut you down because I'm the dad. But if he's like, Nick, stop, you just do it more. I mean, what's the whole point in constantly just having to talk shit to someone and try to belittle them and make them feel bad?
Don't know.
Does it make you feel good about yourself?
No.
Do you want somebody to do it to you?
No.
So why would you do it to your brother of all people?
I don't know.
Again, so how is he deserving of that though?
When you're not here, he acts like a completely different person, and then when you get here, he plays the victim.
To some degree, I do see that. I know, but I know how it starts, and I know that if you were to just be cool from the beginning, he would be.
No,
There's something
the opportunity and do the
there
thing I
is.
do.
You've created a narrative. You have to recreate the narrative, just like at school or just like with anything else. You put in a whole bunch of effort to create a narrative. You can't think, well, I'm just going to stop so everything's going to adjust. It doesn't work that way. And then at the end, when all's said and done, we end up in this kind of position to where you try to hurt feeling. I don't want to play. I don't care. And you say all these things to hurt over video games. I mean, how stupid is that?
Yeah.
What happens when it's a real thing? What happens when it's a girl? What happens when it, something like that?
I don't know.
You're going to be petty and do the same things you do here?
No. If it's a girl, I don't care.
But a video game, you.
That matters more to me. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, because you don't have that girl. But when the girl does matter to you, it's going to be a different story. Come on, dude.
Okay.
Okay, what? Don't play stupid. You're not stupid. Don't play stupid.
I'm not playing stupid.
You are. Because you know that a girl you really like is going to be more important to you than a video game. Correct?
Maybe. I don't know.
You're serious right now. You don't think the girl that you like is going to be more important to you than a video game?
It probably will. I don't know.
So probably will. You think there's a possibility that there's a video game? All right. Well, I'm really done with the disrespect that you're purposefully doing right now. So when you decide that you want to stop being like this to me too, because remember, you're not being a jerk to Nathan, right?
No, I am.
Oh! But you're also doing it to me. And if you're going to do it to me, why wouldn't you do it to him?
I don't know.
You would, correct?
Yes.
So you're still going to keep going with it too, right?
No, Dad.
Well, it seems like it. I can hear it in your voice. This is you causing a problem and then you not fixing it when you could fix it. And you know you could. He might not respond immediately. He's probably going to be because he's hurt. Like, you do understand that what you do does work. When you're trying to hurt feelings, you succeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like that?
No, not really.
Well, if you hurt somebody's feelings, you can't expect them to just, when you sort of do one of your fake, I'm sorry, you can't expect them to respond well to it, right?
No.
This is stupid, man. This Thanksgiving, as silly as all that goofy bullshit is, today's a day where you're supposed to appreciate things. And instead of appreciating the person that appreciates you the most, you're being stupid. You're being mean just to be mean. Like, what's the point, man?
I don't know.
Well, I think you should try to fix it. I doubt you will, but I think you should. Yeah, what? Break it. What?
This.
I have no idea. If that was happening in my world, I'd be asking you. Hi, Turtle Turtle.
I do not know what's going on.
Hi, Squirty Squirts.
I left the computer over, not overnight, but while we were playing games, and then Turtle did something. So like,
She walked in the.
and then did something.
Hi. Look. She's mean.
Oh.
She's the mean Squirty Squirty. What are you doing? I'm not done.
I thought you could have been on it.
No, I just turned to pet the turtle. Oh, it's so much fun. So much fun. Well, thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. It's difficult. It is difficult. They can be so human sometimes. It's frustrating. Because it's literally what it comes down to. They're just humans. They're humans going through emotions and letting stupid shit get in the way, and insecurities and issues and all of it. It's there. And you can't one of the things we end up doing as parents is being like, it's just some stupid video game, stop, blah, blah, blah. But to them, it's not just some stupid video game. And there's more to it. There's more nuance to what's happening than just video games. And so when you minimize it, that's just video games, get over it. I'm not going to put in an effort to try to understand your perspective. Then you make them feel less than. You detach them from you. They think you can't possibly understand. You're not even going to try to understand. Well, the thing is, they've been talked to like this their whole lives. My wife would get mad at me when they were younger because I would talk to them this way. They're too young to be talked to, have adult conversations. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? But all you parents out there that believe in spanking, you teach them that the response to a multitude of things that aren't even violent is violence. The ultimate punishment is violence. And it's a weird violence that you don't experience as an adult. There is no, you do something really wrong, so what's going to happen is somebody's going to bend you over something and spank your butt a bunch of times, and then, whatever. You get grounded, essentially. You get put in jail. That shit sucks. You can get beat up, you fuck with the wrong person, or you don't listen to cops or whatever. You don't have a reasonable head on your shoulders that tells you these cops are motherfuckers and they'll do anything they can to fuck you. There are plenty of them that'll help you, no doubt. But they're your best interests are not always aligned with theirs, right? And to teach your kids to respond to things with violence is probably not the right idea. But I always looked at it like at some point they're going to get too big to be able to spank. And that was a long time ago. So at the point where they get too big to spank, then you're going to try to talk to them and reason with them when you've already created this standard that they know that if it's bad enough, once it's real bad, then this happens. But now when this is taken away, then there is no, like, the limitations are changed. And they already don't respect you because you've been hitting them. You're this giant monster that's been fucking physically abusing them for years, using weapons like belts or wooden spoons and shit. No kid ever gets spanked and is like, yeah, I deserve that. I was wrong in this situation, and getting hit on the butt so hard I can't sit down is it's gonna make me feel a lot better. I know what I did wrong, and I'm gonna be better from now on. No. Every single time a kid gets spanked, they're thinking, I hate that motherfucker. Why would they do that to me? I'll never hit my kids. I hate them. I hate how when you hit me, you're my protector. I love you more than anything. I love you more than any of the stuff I have or any of the other people I know. You're my parent. You've provided me life. You've given me everything I have. You gave me my life. And I love you so, so much. And you're going to hit me? Because you hit me because you love me, you psychopath? What the fuck is wrong with you? We have our typical friar on here. Using the friar lingo. Friar, I believe submarines are fake. Well, go watch Submarines Are Not Real, parts 1 through 9. They're readily available. There's no avoidance of it by making lots of videos about it, talking about it several times, starting this video talking about it, actually. Yeah, there's no avoidance of it. I'm just not going to sit here and keep repeating the same shit over and over again when it doesn't matter. My belief in submarines doesn't matter at all compared to the genocide, the pedophilia, the friar control scheme, the goofy friars that come on here. I just want the source, and I'll go do my own research. Go do your own research. See, isn't it interesting how you're all programmed to think that you had to get something, like you couldn't have thought of this on your own. You had to get it from somewhere else. I get all of my information from other people. So where did you get your information from? There isn't a submarines aren't real person out there. That's me. And the reality is, until you wrap your heads around it, like, it helps to be someone that already questions or doesn't believe in space travel and all that shit, knows that they've been lying to us about things like lunar landers and James Webb space telescopes the whole time. It's all a bunch of bullshit. We can't leave low Earth orbit. That's the best we can do. That's the best, they make a big deal out of it a couple of years ago. We did low Earth orbit flight with Richard Branson. Bitch, you've been doing that shit for 20, 30 fucking years. What are you talking about? Nothing big there. And that's just Virgin's been doing that. We've been, NASA's been doing the low Earth orbit shit forever. But when you start questioning that, and then you apply it to, wait, underwater now? We're supposed to believe that we underwater? If you looked at the submersible vessel that was used in the video today, well, we don't know if it was connected to anything at the top, one. And two, that wasn't a submarine. That thing was, that wasn't your average submarine. Like, if you are going to build some sort of underwater vessel, that probably looks like what you would use. It's got jets pushing it down all the time, but the idea of, one, the pressure of water, because that's what the thing that the video this morning was, the Jacques Cousteau, the planet, whatever the fuck. What the fuck is the show? I don't remember what it's called, but it's got the Jacques Cousteau nephew or grandkid on there, or whatever. And it goes all over the earth and does. I've quoted it many times. I can't believe I can't remember it. Expedition Earth or some shit. I don't remember what it's called. It's after Animal Planet. But anyway, he was in Curacao subs. Let me look that up real quick. That's what I'll look up. Because the thing I was looking up is gone. Curacao. Let's look that up. The Curacao. All right, let's. Oh shit. I'm gonna lose the video stream now because I forgot to plug in. Fuck. Yeah, I'll probably end up losing the stream. Sorry, guys. Even though I got it plugged in, it won't last. I didn't get it in time. And to figure out how they're doing a thrust forward. Yeah. Just look into it. Just look into the history of submarines. Understand this notion of, in 1952, they just decided they wanted nuclear submarines, and they made one. They shrunk a nuclear power plant and a water desalination plant down to the size where it can fit into a submarine. And they just made Hayom Rickover, the born Jew who converted to Protestant and became the highest ranking naval officer, and actually I think he's the highest ranking military officer of all time, having only been in command of a vessel like one time for a very short time. It's a really crazy narrative. But if you just look up the history of it, and you look up, first of all, how many of you know or even understand or believe that the first submarine was created in 1620 by a guy called Cornelius Drebbel, somebody you've never heard of? You can make a nuclear reactor core in your home the size of a basketball. They recycle and minimize power consumption. Yeah, I bet you can. I'd love to see you do it, man. I'd love to see you do it. I'd love to see you build a submarine. Don't you think it's strange? The fact is, I've said submarines aren't real for a long time. And my inbox has not been inundated with videos of submarines underwater. The fact that there's no video evidence of it, sans a couple of cheesy ass, obviously fake videos, these are the things that should sort of wake you up. Whether they do or not, that's on you. I don't know. But when you just think, like, you would think there would be plenty of footage in 2025, not only of submarines, swimming around underwater, showing their capabilities, but also submarines rising up out of the water, ascending out of the water. The slow ascension where it just comes out of the water nice and slow, and, You would think that footage would exist all over the place. Why doesn't it? And for the people that'll say, oh, the footage is heavily classified. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right. So you're saying the footage of submarines outside the sub is classified, but there are endless videos of submarine life inside the sub, where inside the sub, they literally feel nothing. I don't know if you've ever been on a plane or a train or in a car, but the slightest movement of the vehicle outside the given course. So if you're going 65 miles per hour, as long as you stay going exactly 65 and you don't move the wheel even a slight little bit, you don't feel anything. But as soon as there's like there's just a little bit of a movement, you feel it. Whether it's a slow down, a speed up, left, right, whatever, you feel it. In the submarines, they just walk around, they draw things, they stand still as they break through ice. There's no movement whatsoever by the people inside. They don't seem to feel anything. And these super classified videos, man, if you wanted to, you could find all kinds of videos of what the inside, the nuts and bolts of the submarine looks like. Look, the dumb friar can only say the same stupid things over and over again because they can't actually engage in this conversation. Because I always avoid it and I always deflect and stuff. So now I'm actually talking about stuff, especially the historical aspect of it. And guess what? The dumb friar knows. How come you Cornelius trouble? 30 to 40 feet. How come you Cornelius trouble? 30 to 40 feet below the surface, carry 16 passengers, stay underwater for 3 hours, travel long distances. The first King was it Edward the First? I think it was Edward the First. Was the first monarch to travel underwater, thanks to Cornelius Drebbel in 1620. But because the powers that be at the time didn't see any sort of use in being able to travel secretly underwater, no military benefits there, it was shelved. And the next viable prototypes didn't show up for another 100 years or so. And every single one of them fail. Every single submarine narrative they give you between Cornelius Drebbel, the guy who could make it thunder and lightning on command somehow, the guy who invented fucking microscopes and basically invented telescopes and an air conditioning unit and oh my God, there's so many things. I can't even, fiber optics and fuses and just all of these goddamn crazy different things, right? This guy should be like the real life, Dr. Who's a Gigawatts that everybody's like, man, I want to be Cornelius Drebbel when I grow up. You can generate oxygen. Cleaning systems are very logical, and combating pressure is easy until a certain depth. No, it's not. You can generate oxygen. So you know how they generate oxygen? First of all, again, you have to have the desalinated water. But they supposedly run an electrical current through the water, which separates the oxygen molecules from the hydrogen molecules, leaving then a bunch of liquid hydrogen, I guess, that they just, I don't know, dump back into the water. I don't even know how the fuck they do that. But that's how they supposedly generate oxygen. And then, of course, they have the scrubbers that can somehow scrub things. Yeah, sure. The thing is, you just believe this because that's what you're told. Because this narrative has had decades to be put together. But if you look it up, if you look into it, it don't make no sense. How about this? How about every sub fails, right? Until 1850, when random people just create another sub. This time, the sub can go 150 feet deep, stay underwater for 3 hours. I don't remember. Hold 3 people, and this one has a hatch on the bottom that can be opened up, and they can harvest oysters out of it. Yep. And because of their lack of understanding of the bends of the decompression sickness, every time they would rapidly ascend, everybody would get real sick and almost die. So they just abandoned it, and it was forgotten until history until it was rediscovered. Or how about the River Thames tunnel that was built in the 1840s or whatever? I can't even remember. Something ridiculous like that. The first tunnel supposedly under a body of water. At one point, there's a leak struck. And so the designer of the whole thing, the whole project, gets into a diving bell that he can then open a hatch up on the bottom and drop sandbags down into the River Thames to block up the hole in the tunnel. Are you fucking serious? Like, it's just so stupid. How did they see down there? How do you see down there at the bottom like that? You can't light a candle because you will die. But again, every single submarine that we're told about in history fails. Other than these couple that I've given you, they fail. And then suddenly, somehow, the Germans figure out U-boats, but U-boats again are not submarines like you think they are. These are boats that have shit sticking out of them, out of the top, like air holes and shit, supposedly. These aren't like what you think submarines are. And the narrative surrounding them is choppy at best. But then when you get to the nuclear submarines, that's when the narrative just gets completely out of hand. If you think in the fucking 50s they were making nuclear reactors that can fit into submarines, and here we are 75 fucking years later, and we don't have nuclear generators, little pocket-sized nuclear generators that power our houses forever. You know that the U.S. military has 100% safety rating, 100% efficiency rating when it comes to submarines. They've never had an accident. In all of U.S. military submarine history, there's never been an accident where they've lost a sub. They've been perfect every time. You don't need the same amount of powder to power a sub and an entire region. That's why it's smaller. Dude, you're just being ridiculous. That's not how technology works. And then think about what 50s technology was. Think about what televisions in the 50s looked like. What cars look like in the 50s, airplanes look like in the 50s, computers. Do you understand that when it comes to submarines, especially when you're talking about deep because of the pressure on the inside has to constantly be adjusted to prevent the sub from imploding and or exploding if you have too much pressure on the inside. This all has to be regulated and done within seconds. This has to be computer driven. Look up what computers look like in the 60s and the 70s. These are giant rooms of computer. They say that the lunar lander had the equivalent technology of a modern day calculator. So where did all these computers go in the submarine as well? The radar understands a lot of it. It's not millisecond decisions. It would have to be. It would have to be, it would have to be efficient. There would have to be a constant adjustment being done, especially once you get super deep. But I always, the only reason you think submarines exist is because they tell you they do. They make no fucking sense. They really don't. You want to prove it to yourself? Next time you go to the beach, take a 2-liter with you. You don't even need a 2-liter. You are a vessel, right? This 200-pound body of muscle and bone and 70% water. I am 70% water according to the narrative. This body cannot sink to the bottom of the fucking water. The only way I can get to the bottom of the water is if I blow all my air out and I swim down and I sit there, blow all my air out for the couple seconds that I can, and then I got to surface right away. My body is 70% water and it still floats. And it floats because of worth of air. You want me to believe that something the size of that can hold 80 school buses full of air, a big giant cavity full of pressurized air, could just go hunt for Red October style? I have been on one. I'm sure you have. Yep. You went to the fucking harbor and you went on the submarine and they were like, cool. Or you went on like the Bahamas glass bottom boat kind of thing. Yeah, sure. I'm sure we have technology along those lines. Very, very limited technology. When you start talking about ballast tanks and shit like that, oh, it's the ballast tanks. Yeah, they fill up 70% or they fill up 10% of the space. The other experiment you can do, other than your body, of course, is take a 2-liter. See how much energy it takes to just even hold that 2-liter underwater at your waist level. Let alone swim that 2-liter all the way down to the bottom. See how that works out? Put water in it. Fill it halfway. See how well that works. Fill it halfway full of the ballast tanks and see how well that thing doesn't still want to shoot up to the surface. And again, just show me some footage. How come the couple of shots that you can see of a submarine ascending out of the water, looking at the water, and suddenly the submarine pops out? To think about the people inside of it would just be like, oh, they would be so flung around that sort of movement taking place. You can't show me a video of a submarine just slowly coming up out of the water, going back down. There's one video of a submarine supposedly descending that is just squirting out air and geyser water, squirting out. Hey, check me out. Like if you were trying to be all secretive, you would out yourself very obviously. And it takes such a long time for this submarine to actually descend that the video cuts 3 times, I believe. And it never actually shows it go all the way under. The entire time, the top portion of it is still sticking out. I shouldn't be able to think this way. I didn't, when I said the submarines weren't real at first, I wasn't thinking that's the name of the show. I was just thinking, here, let me look into this. The concept seems kind of fucking weird to me. I'm going to prove myself wrong. I had no idea there would be so many submarine enthusiasts out there. So many people that care so much more about submarines than they do genocide, than they do child rape and bottom of darkness, Israel Hayom, this, that, and the other. So many people that don't understand what a title is. Like I guarantee, if you're a fan of my lunch break, you don't go to those videos thinking he's eating lunch. You're gonna see some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and shit. You know? There are plenty of feeds out there. Like if Mr. Beast, you don't think that like there's a male beast, like a monster there, do you? When you go look at Mr. Beast, do you? My lunch break makes great videos. None of them are about sandwiches. Picnics and lunches and shit like that. It's amazing to me that people act like they don't understand that it's the title, especially when the title says part this or that. Like the part signifies that the title is this, and then this is what the episode is about. And yet, you know, instead of coming to the feed and seeing what the feed is about and talking about, you know, the shit that I bring up, no. You're way more concerned with whether or not I believe in submarines. They choose descent speed. Yeah, you'd be surprised what you won't find. It's more what you don't find. You would think you would find lots and lots of videos showing this, that, and the other. And you don't. You don't. You find nothing. Nothing. Like, you'll find videos inside the submarines. Here, look, I'll even do it for you, right? Alright, so submarines. Submarine underwater footage. That's what I put in the Google machine. Alright. So how submarine sailors eat, sleep, and survive for 3 months underwater. That's a video. That's not. Submarine diving from the outside using a couple of GoPro cameras. I've been waiting for this video forever. I don't know why I couldn't find this video for such a long time. But let's see what happens. Okay, so it's diving. I have no idea how big this thing is. You know, I don't know anything about this thing because they didn't start with it just started with this. It didn't start with, hey, look, we're on this boat. This could be tiny for all we know. Oh, GoPros are going down. Did you think it would take submarine this long to just, oh, look, we just had an edit. Okay, so now there was an edit. Now we're letting air out. Okay. Yep, it's going down, I guess. Okay, so okay. Man, if this thing was trying to get away from something, it'd be fucked. Didn't you think they could go down a lot quicker than this? Like it would be shot to shit by now. Oh, now we have another edit. Didn't see anything. Did you guys see that? Okay, so that's what we're at. Oh, that's it. There's the submarine. Went underwater. You guys see that? Okay, let's see. Here, maybe this time they'll actually show us what it looks like. Again, you have no idea what this is. This thing could be a toy for all you know. There could be a hand on this side of the camera. You have no idea what you're actually looking at. Okay, we're going under super slowly. Okay. Okay, now I think we're underwater. All right. We're underwater, I guess. Don't know how far underwater we are. Looks like the water is just above the surface of this, but I don't know. Okie dokie, what am I don't know what I'm looking at. And again, I have no idea what basis this is, what the actual, like, what am I looking at? It's just a piece of metal with, I have no idea what I'm looking at. And I don't know anything about what this is. But it still looks like the water is just right above it. Like you can sort of see breaks happening every once in a while. Right there. Oh, now we have another edit. Okay, so now we're underwater. I guess going fast? I don't know. Is somebody going to wave at us? Oh, so we were just under the surface of the water yet again. And now we're coming up, I guess, out of the water from just under the surface. Oh, another edit. So we have no idea what the fuck we were looking at. Okay, I guess this must be this one coming back up again. Yep, was right underneath the water the whole time and just popped up. Whoop, whoop. Yep, totally makes sense. I don't know why I would ask any questions beyond this. Do you guys? Oh, here we go again. Are we going back down this time? What are we looking at here? No idea what the fuck I'm looking at. Okay, that was pointless. And this seems like it's gonna be another pointless fucking. Yeah, and there we go. I'd never seen that before. So think about this. I've never seen that video before. I just had the opportunity to look like a complete and total doofus. Right? I could have looked up that video and it would have just been like, oh yeah, I guess I made a mistake. This is obvious. There's no way this could not be exactly what it's saying it is. Right? And that video had all this opportunity to really, like, this was a chance. I had no idea what I was looking at. And really, I should have been easily proven wrong there, And yet, that wasn't very believable, right? You keep acting like this is some sort of secretive thing. There are endless videos of what the inside of the submarine looks like underwater. This is what it looks like on the inside to eat, and this, that, and the other. Like, scary submarine encounter while diving. Oh, here we go. Here's another one of these submarine while diving. And the other thing about this, too, is you have no idea. This could easily be like Grand Theft Auto. You would have no idea. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. You'd never be able to tell the difference. Oh, here's a U.S. nuclear submarine busting through the ice. Let's see. Oh, look. It never actually shows you what it looks like before the submarine pops through. Did you see that? Every single time you look, the submarine head, the top of it will already be sticking out of the water. Not one will show you a video where the ice is flat and then the submarine comes busting through this ice. This ice that is like significantly thick. Look how thick those chunks of ice are. Wasn't it ice that took out the Titanic? Wouldn't busting through the ice with the conning tower, the most like sensitive part of the sub, where all the instruments are, and wouldn't that make no sense whatsoever? And then the idea that maybe a little shard of that ice it just cuts right through that. You know how possible that is? We're talking about fucking, what, 6, 8 inch thick ice? Who knows how thick this ice is? 3, 4 foot thick ice? I think they said it was 4 foot thick. Have you ever seen a nuclear submarine burst through the polar ice? Every single one of these with the submarine, the conning tower will already be sticking out.
The U.S. Navy performs exercises.
So you have to ask, these are out in the middle of nowhere, right? Who's fucking filming it? They had to get through it once to get the fucking guy to film it, right? If they're really out in the middle of the polar region somewhere, nobody was out there walking along with a fucking cell phone or some shit. But watch.
Region called Ice X, where nuclear-powered submarines break through the ice to test the skills of the submarine's crews and evaluate the performance of submarines in the most challenging conditions.
Oh yeah, that looks real.
A submarine can smash about 3 feet of ice, and submarines can even go through around 9 feet of ice. However,
9 feet of ice. Do you know how much bullshit that is? There's another video on here that shows the inside of the sub as they supposedly do one of these fucking crash throughs, right? And so for some reason, the cockpit is full of a bunch of guys just sort of standing there, arms crossed, along with the 3 or 4 pilots. And at the bottom of the screen, they show a little Atari, like digital example of what they're doing. So it shows the submarine under the water, and then it shows the surface. And they're supposedly 100 feet below the surface, and they're going to ascend at 10 feet per second, so they can crash through this 4 foot, 5 foot thick ice, right? So as they're doing this, again, there's guys just standing there. Everybody's just standing there. They're counting it down. Impact in 10, 9, 8, 7. They get all the way up to 1. Impact, and they go through the ice. Not one guy in that room goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. There's literally no impact of it. There's no energy dispersion from, you're crashing through something that their energy is going to be, exchanged. The people on the inside are going to go, oh, the fact that the sub is going from underwater, going up quickly, and then suddenly being buoyant, all of it means the people on the inside would have to have braced themselves pretty significantly and would still show like their heads would move, they'd be significantly affected by it. Now, this is saying that they can go through 9 feet of ice with the conning tower, the most sensitive part of the fucking sub. Just watch. However, this is a risky exercise, and it can severely damage a $1.59 billion submarine.
This is a risky exercise, and it can severely damage a $1.5 billion submarine if the crew tries to surface through the ice in the wrong location.
Oh, look.
It's very dangerous for safety.
Not one fucking
the
shot.
The crew in a sunken submarine alive in remote areas of the Arctic are quite low. Have you ever seen a new...
Not one shot actually shows you the submarine blasting through the ice. Oh, surface is out of nowhere. It's already there. Look at it bounce up. Boing. Do you know how devastating that would be for the people inside of that? The impact. Have you ever been on a boat going through fucking water like that? Going through choppy water at any sort of speed, and this thing is just popping out like almost like it was being held by something, and you let it go, and it just pops right up.
We want to show you new.
I just gave you proof. There is a hardness scale, whatever. How come I can't find it? It should be simple. It should be fucking simple. Do you understand that it shouldn't be so difficult for me to find average footage of this shit? Here's the one I was telling you about, the submarine surfacing. You tell me this looks normal. This looks like it's just a normal, controlled, slowly rising, coming out of the water submarine here. And of course, there's a boat. So how do you know that these aren't connected? Watch. Oh shit. Oh, there it is. Oh, you see it? Boop. Yeah, just comes right out. Just pops out. Doo doo. Spooky moment. Submarine passes beneath scuba divers.
No one is
150-meter uncut footage of underwater atomic blast. This is not submarines. Think about how much devastation shit causes. Just for testing purposes. How much pollution. How many animals get killed by that shit instantly? Whales and all kinds of shit. Again, whenever it's any of these kinds of things, you have no idea what you're looking at. You just don't know. Special effects are amazing. That video title, exactly why you can't find it. Okay, let's see. Search that. Alright, let's see. Let's see. SSN 711 1000th dive. Alright, let's see. All right, here we go. Here's an this is that proof. This is that proof that I refuse to look at. Here, this is gonna debunk everything I have to say. Okay. Here you go. You can see they're setting it all up. Oh, there's an edit. Now we've switched to another edit. Okay, well because we saw the thing close and now we see this. Oh yeah, well fucking hey, this has to be true. Because we saw people, and then we saw an edit, and now we're looking at, here we go. Oh, another edit. With the rainbow. Because they're making these videos, because Guy Williams thinks something's not right here. More edits. Oh, another edit. Now we're what? Now what am I looking at? Now we're just under the surface of the ocean, the water. Now we came back out. Seriously? This is what you told me I should be looking at? That's it? That's the video, huh? They go down further. No, they didn't. To think that's what you accept as proof. And that's why the way that I do things, I credit it Dr. Judy Wood so much to the way I look at things. And even if she turns out to be a fraud, she's helped me so tremendously, right? Because she said that as a forensic engineer, Dr. Judy Wood has an amazing take on 9/11. And she's a forensic engineer. And she says as a forensic engineer, what she would do was go to the scene and let the scene tell her what happened, not the other way around. She wouldn't want to hear from anybody. She wouldn't want to hear anybody's ideas or anybody's theories or anything. Because once you have, oh, the building collapsed because of this, then you're going to look for what fits that narrative. And anything that doesn't fit the narrative, you're going to overlook it. And so when you're looking for, you know, and what she said was, you know, she would go there and just let the evidence tell her what it is. I do the same thing. I don't go to it thinking this is going to show me this, so then that's what I see. I go into it saying, is this going to show me this? Is this going to show me definitive proof that I can't just, you know, I can't debunk? Is this going to show me unedited footage? No, it doesn't. And I can absolutely see how they could fake shit like that. He ignored the clip of them at the depth at 1:30. I ignored the clip of them at a depth at 1:30. Ignored nothing. How do you know how deep it is? I do know it's a shitload. It's just under the surface. Let's see. Yeah. That doesn't mean anything. I don't. The top of the water looks right above there. I can see waves breaking. What are you talking about? The water is just above the top of the conning tower. Oh, now here we go. Now that it just dawned on you that you might be a little bit out of your depth. Now it's turning into, why would they fake it? And so I always have the standard response ready for you because I've dealt with this so many times. You ever seen the movie Life? Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy? Really, really fucking funny movie. At least it was. I don't know if I watched it again if I think it was as funny. But you are right about a lot, but this one is out there. Yes, it's out there to think that they lie to us about this. Because again, if you've seen the movie Life, you know what I'm talking about. So, the movie Life, these two buffoons get caught up in some racist bullshit in the South back in the early 1900s, and they're bootlegging and whatever. The one guy is a banker. He's not even in. He just got caught up in a real bad situation and you know, blah, 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 bad shit. But they get sent to this prison in the South. Let's see. I don't own this footage, just like I don't own any of this footage. But
believe me, I'm not impressed. I've seen it all. Go hungry. This here, Camp 8.
this here, Camp 8.
Camp 8 foreign cargo.
Hit pause so we don't cross any lines, but here we go.
So whatever you're doing to get here, believe me, I'm not impressed. I've seen it all before.
5, 6, 7.
We ain't got no fences yet.
Oh. Gotta pause it. This is the important part. He just, we ain't got no fences.
Camp 8. We don't need no fences. We got us the gun line. Tell them about the gun line, boss.
Tell him about the gun line, boss. That's what Hoppin' Bob says. Tell him about the gun line, boss.
This is the gun line. It runs from shack to shack, clear around the yard.
Gun line. Shack to shack, clear around the yard. The border. The boundary.
inside the gun line. You step outside the gun line without my permission, you will be shot.
There you go. You step outside the gun line without the permission of the warden, you will be shot. They don't need a fence. The fence is in your mind.
You trip and fall over the gun line, you will be shot. You spit, you pee, you so much you stick your Johnson out over the gun line, you will be shot.
The guy, you don't want to be shot, right?
And you slack. Don't try to run, don't try to escape. One of my trustees will put a bullet in your head.
If you try to run, if you try to escape, put a bullet in your head.
You prisoners are now the property of the state of Mississippi, which is to say
Another thing I want to show you. Just so you know, you don't think it's just my stuff. The stuff exists. Let's do it. No. Just put honesty. I'm going to give this one last try and then I'm done. Try something else.
This isn't really holiday shopping.
Sure, all these
I
clips
mean,
are just about the
discovering
blowjob.
high-quality gifts, decor, and more at amazing prices just feels more joyful, right?
Yeah, right. Shut up. I'll take the extra time to block. Oh, it's not going to let me block it.
Holiday shopping.
Interesting.
This is beyond shopping. This is finding.
You suck that guy's dick?
I knew that's what it was going to do. Let's see. One more try, sorry. Guess not. Well, the point being that there's a scene in the movie where the girlfriend and Dante are sitting behind the bar or behind the counter, and she is like, "Aren't you worried? You know, somebody's going to do something wrong?" And he talks about studies have shown that if people think they're being watched, they're more likely to do the right thing. So by leaving, you know, a note that says take the correct change, people assume they're being watched and they're more likely to do the right thing. And he, you know, fucking, I guess, I mean, it's a stupid, you know, it's a stupid thing. That's not how it would work in real life. Like people but it is an exercise in our philosophy and our psychology. And it's the same thing. Like if you think you're being watched, if you think there's a gun line and you cross over that gun line, you're not even going to try to leave. You know, if you hear about certain stories where, you know, oh, the rich guy in his submarine got stuck underwater and it exploded. Oh, it imploded. And it's the biggest story, and you're like, oh my gosh, submarines are real. I can't go. If I go out, it's like it's literally Truman being scared of the water. Like they gave us Truman Show for a reason. Truman Show is them laughing at us. Because instead of it being one Truman, it's all of us. And they have us scared of the water and scared of the repercussions. I know that if you try to, you know, just be an explorer yourself and you're rich and you buy yourself a really great seaworthy vessel and you outfit it the best you can with the best money you can buy so that you can survive the vast, you know, expansion of the cold and all that shit that's going to be down in the south in Antarctica, and you say, I'm going to circumnavigate Antarctica, and you know, do everything that that you can possibly do and should do, and you know, you prepare yourself as best you can, you won't be allowed to. You know what? That's a good thing to look up real quick. Don't know how much more I have in me, but let's look this one up. Do 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 do. Your mom smells like poop. Yeah, I said it. So what? All right, so we're gonna go Antarctic Treaty. Let's see what it says about the Antarctic Treaty. Wonder if there's even going to be a Antarctic Treaty System. The Antarctic Treaty and related agreements, collectively known as the Antarctic Treaty System, the ATS, regulate international relations with respect to Antarctica, Earth's only continent without a native human population. It was the first arms control agreement established during the Cold War, designating the continent as a scientific preserve, establishing freedom of scientific investigation, and banning military activity for the purposes of the treaty system. And banning military activity. For the purposes of the treaty system, Antarctica is defined as all the land and ice shelves south of 60 degrees south latitude. Since September 2004, the Antarctic Treaty Secretariat, which implements the treaty system, is headquartered in Buenos Aires, Argentina. That's the flag of the system. All right, let's check it out. Oh, here's a satellite. Here, listen. A 2002 satellite composite image of Antarctica. And they get away with it. Well, oh yeah, well, it's so big, we had to take different. It's a composite image. It's a manufactured image. The main treaty was opened for signature on this. What's up? Nice.
Yeah.
Unnecessary, but nice. I forgot about my tea. I want to know what's going on there. I mean, down there is a relative term, isn't it? Around, you know. I mean, it's all around us. signature on December 1st, 1959, and officially entered into force on June 23rd, 1961. The original signatories were the 12 countries active in Antarctica during the International Geophysical Year, the IGY, of 1957-1958. What is it? International Geophysical Year. Also referred to as the Third International Polar Year, was an international scientific project that lasted from July 1st, 1957 to December 31st, 1958. Oh, something goofy like that. Here we go. That's the image, official emblem. Oh, and there we go. A replica of Sputnik. Yep, gotta love good old Sputnik. Because that's what they thought satellites and shit should look like back then, so they made that shit up. Please, I'd love to know how Sputnik worked. I'd love to know. Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Chile, France, Japan, New Zealand, Norway, South Africa, the Soviet Union, the United Kingdom, and the United States. These countries had established over 55 Antarctic research stations for the IGY, and the subsequent promulgation, there we go, of the treaty was seen as a diplomatic expression of the operational and scientific cooperation that had been achieved. As of 2024, the treaty has 58 parties. History of it. After World War II, the U.S. considered establishing a claim in Antarctica from February 26, 1946, and until the beginning of 1947, it carried out Operation High Jump, which is a whole different thing for us to get into. The largest military expeditionary force that the United States had ever sent to Antarctica, consisting of 13 ships, 4,700 men, and numerous aerial devices. Its goals were to train military personnel and to test material in conditions of extreme cold for a hypothetical war in the Antarctic. That's really a weird way to think about things. On September 2nd, 1947, the quadrant of Antarctica in which the United States was interested, between 24 degrees west and 90 degrees west, was included as part of the security zone of the Inter-American Treaty of Reciprocal Assistance, committing its members to defend it in case of external aggression. In August of 48, the United States proposed that Antarctica be under the guardianship of the United Nations as a trust territory administered by Argentina, Australia, Chile, France, the United States, the United Kingdom, New Zealand, and New Zealand. The idea was rejected by Argentina, Australia, Chile, France, and Norway. Before the rejection on August 28, 1948, the United States proposed to the claimant countries some form of internationalization of Antarctica, and the United Kingdom supported this. Chile responded by presenting a plan to suspend all Antarctic claims for 5 to 10 years while negotiating a final solution, but this did not find acceptance. I mean, I hate to keep feeding the full horse and all, but think about what 1948 technology looked like. Think about that shit. 1948. You know? And that you know, where is something similar today? I mean, I guess we have the supposed stations and shit down there, so that quells that narrative. We're like, why aren't we still looking? But just think about what they're telling you. Doesn't it seem strange? And to think, like, you know, this narrative that's like, Oh yeah, all the countries in the world, they just agreed. They were like, okay, this is the most, rich area for resources and all this other shit, all this unclaimed land, blah, blah, blah. All this amazing stuff. Let's just leave it alone. You know how the leaders don't like to exploit the resources. What's up? Shut up before I smack you like I always do.
Oh yeah, you beat me a lot. It hurt so bad.
Beat him down, beat you down. Well, what's funny, Craig, too, is according to everyone, you're crazy. By you wanting to know what's going on in the world you live in. You crazy, crazy person? What's wrong with you? You're crazy. In 1950, the interest of the United States to keep the Soviet Union away from the Antarctica was frustrated when the Soviets informed the claimant states that they would not accept any Antarctic agreement in which they were not represented. Yeah, you'd think. The fear that the USSR would react by making a territorial claim, bringing the Cold War to Antarctica, led the United States to make none. To make no claim. Man, that Cold War sure is handy for so many of the narratives they want to put on us, right? Various international conflicts motivated the creation of an agreement for the Antarctic. Some incidents had occurred during the Second World War, and a new one occurred in Hope Bay on February 1st, 1952, when the Argentine military fired warning shots at a group of Britons. Where is Argentina that it has such a dominant position over Antarctica? Am I just misunderstanding something? I mean, it just seems like a weird piece of this puzzle. The response of the UK was to send a warship that landed Marines at the scene on February 4th. In 1949, Argentina, Chile, and the United Kingdom signed a tripartite naval declaration committing not to send warships south of the 60th parallel, which was renewed annually until 1961, when it was deemed unnecessary when the treaty entered into force. I mean, again, Chile and all that's on the other side. That's on the east side of South America. So why would they have any sort of claims to Europeans coming down? And you would think it would make more sense for the Europeans to just go down from Africa. And yeah, maybe it's a little bit further from the tip of Africa. But then they wouldn't have to travel across the ocean and then all that other shit they'd have to deal with. You'd think it'd be less in the long run. Argentina is the closest country to Antarctica. Is it? My bad. Let's see. You know what? I want to see it, so I'm going to pull this up. It's not, actually. I mean, it is, but it's like... That's weird. So it is a big part of the South American continent. I had no idea it was that big. And then that's Chile on the other side. But that's interesting. I had no idea it was that big. And then I guess Argentina is also the lime green part too. Territory claimed but not controlled is the lime green part. Hey, what the hell? Why did it do that? Oh, fuck. You know what? I don't feel like doing this anymore. I'm tired. My shit hurts. You have yourself a great Thanksgiving. Go check out all the fucking... We'll look up the Antarctic Treaty again next time. Maybe tomorrow. Whatever. Who knows? You know me. I'm not very good about doing the thing I say I'm going to do tomorrow, but maybe I will this time. Check out all the links. You have plenty to do throughout the day. Go get your free download, all that stuff. If you're lonely today, you know, like you're not alone. We're all, you know, I have my family, but I don't have my big family. So things like days like today make it just put the more realistic spin on things. But you know, don't let this shit get you down. You know, don't let the holidays get you down. If you haven't found that person, you will, but it's overrated. Be happy with what you have. Be happy that you can have someone when you want to, and then when you don't have to. You're not responsible for anyone else. Be happy. It's okay. It's good. Have yourself a wonderful fucking day. And you know what? Because it's Thanksgiving, you pedophiles, still fucking kill yourself.